Salaam kuona nchi ya kale. Asanteni sana.
Tanzania yangu nakupenda na kuombea.
Broadcasting live from Dar es Salaam, this is TBC News, our top stories. President Samia directs media to practice professionalism. Tanzania's economy continues to improve.
Under the President Samia's administration, the focus has been really to continue opening up the economy.
Good evening, I'm Teddy Mparanyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TBC Online and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook and X pages at TBC Online. President Samia Suluhu Hassan has directed the media industry to practice professionalism with standards and write news stories with accuracy to avoid misleading the public through the information that reaches them. She made the directive while opening off the second conference on development of the information sector in Tanzania, emphasizing closer cooperation between the government and the media industry.
Mimi huwa nafuatilia sana.
I watch programs that have been well researched with analysts aired on TBC, but news items from different media houses on both print and electronic media lacks content with detailed analysis.
On the other hand, the Minister of Information, Communication and Information Technology, Napu Nnauye, emphasized that the conference will equip journalists and other media stakeholders with relevant skills on election reporting, economy and democracy, among other key areas.
I want us to see how democracy can be contributed in our country. We will talk about democracy and its contribution.
In another development, President Samia Suluhu Hassan is expected to attend President-elect Cyril Ramaphosa's inauguration ceremony in South Africa. Ramaphosa is expected to be sworn in tomorrow. And on to the next news, Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango says Tanzania's economy continues to improve despite the various current global challenges. Dr. Mpango made the remarks in Dodoma when he met and held talks with the Executive Director of the British International Investment Institute, BII, Nick Odonohoe, and his delegation, insisting that the Tanzanian government continues to make important reforms that stimulate and attract business and investment.
Under the President Samia's administration, the focus has been really to continue opening up the economy. So focusing on critical reforms, essentially one, to ensure that policies are predictable. I think that is key, but we have continued the path of legal, institutional and regulatory reforms. We have a famous book which we call a blueprint. Really our aim is to make the business environment attractive to investors.
On the other hand, BII Executive Director Nick Odonohoe says the institute will continue to cooperate with Tanzania in various sectors, including solar and wind energy, as well as supporting the improvement of transportation, infrastructure, electrification, agriculture, and horticulture storage improvement.
This country, and to your great credit as Minister for Finance, this country has been is really become one of the fastest growing, most stable, most investable countries in Africa. And so as we look forward from here, we would anticipate that we could, and we would certainly hope that we would be able to do substantially more.
The British International Investment Institute, BII, started investing in the country in 1949 in strategic sectors for the national economy, including energy, agriculture and food, forestry, financial services, communication services, as well as the banking sector, Tanzanian banks. And on to the next news. U.S. Embassy in Tanzania has today announced that the U.S. Embassy, in partnership with the U.S. Department of State, will host an open competition for the private sector and civil society organizations to submit applications to support innovative solutions to boost civic participation and bolster media literacy and information integrity in Tanzania. Up to 3 organizations will be selected as winners of the challenge and will receive funding totaling $250,000. Counselor for Public Diplomacy at the U.S. Embassy, Jen Clark, says the embassy invites technologists and change makers from across Tanzania to participate and submit an application. The U.S. Tanzania Tech Challenge will be hosted in Dar es Salaam on September 18th to 19th this year. Through this tech challenge, the U.S. Department of State seeks to support Tanzanian tech companies and organizations to continue the development of innovative solutions aimed at enhancing civic engagement and responsibility through enhanced media literacy. In another development, estimates of the flow of money from the United States to Tanzania in the period of 1 decade, 2012 to 2022, show that on average the United States has contributed $2.8 billion per year to help Tanzania in economic development. In a study conducted by Aid Data and Repoa, it shows that the U.S. government contribution direct to Tanzania is estimated to be $1.0 billion annually.
And what we will see is the significant contribution of the United States in the sectors of health, agriculture and food security, education, infrastructure, but also in terms of contribution through private sector development. A lot of United States corporations have been investing in Tanzania, working through the private sector in various sectors, including natural gas, tourism, communication, and trade. And we have seen the opportunity that the American government provided through AGOA that have led to a significant increase in the export of goods and services to the U.S.
Recognizing how critical boosting public, civic, and community engagement is to Tanzania, and recognizing the importance of media literacy in this age of technological advancements, I'm very pleased today to announce that the Embassy, in partnership with the Global Engagement Center of the U.S. Department of State, is announcing a $250,000 U.S. Tanzania Tech Challenge in September.
The sectors of agriculture, infrastructure, and health are among the top 5 sectors that received U.S. government support in the period of 10 years from 2012 to 2022, while exports from Tanzania to the United States through the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, reached 16% since 2016. Chief Executive Officer of Tanzania Electrical, Mechanical and Electronic Services Agency, TEMESA, Lazaro Kilahala, says the construction of 5 new ferries being built by the government of Tanzania under the contractor Songoro Marine is expected to be completed by September this year. He made the statement while inspecting the progress of the construction of the ferries in Ilemela, Mwanza region, revealing that upon completion, the new ferries will provide services between 10 various locations in the Mwanza region.
Leo tuko kwenye karakana hii ya Songoro.
We are at the Songoro workshop. We are here to inspect new ferries. As you all know, we have 5 ferries and we are satisfied with the progress. Last time we were here was on May this year. By that time it was complete by 45%. Currently it is complete by 75%. We are grateful to the contractor who works hard to ensure the work is completed on time. We expect the ferries to be done by September this year.
On the other hand, speaking immediately after the inspection, the Songoro Marine CEO, Major Songoro, reassures that starting from September this year, some of the ferries will be released ready to offer services in the designated areas.
Tuko katika karakana ya Songoro Marine Mwanza.
We are at the Songoro Marine Workshop in Mwanza. We are implementing 5 projects for new ferries, whereby generally some ferries are complete by 75% and others are complete by 85%. We expect some of these ferries will be ready to provide service.
The local company contracted to construct the ferry, Songoro Marine, has expressed sincere gratitude to the government for prioritizing local contractors vowing to complete the construction on time. The ambassador of Mozambique to Tanzania, Ricardo Mtumbuida, urges young people to strengthen good relations between Tanzania and Mozambique in various fields like economic matters, social aspects, and cultural affairs between the two countries. Peter Mganga has the following report.
Mozambique achieved independence on 25th June 1975 after a civil resistance movement known as the Coronation Revolution overthrew the Salazar regime, thus ending years of Portuguese colonial rule. In an exclusive interview with Tbcnews, Mozambique's ambassador to Tanzania, Ricardo Mtumbuida, explains the contribution of Tanzania towards Mozambique's independence.
Mozambique, as a country, was born from Tanzania because, as you know, Frelimo, the ruling party, which led Mozambique to the independence, was founded here in Tanzania, and I can tell you that it was founded in Mnazi Mmoja here in Dar es Salaam. So since then, since the founding of Frelimo until 1975 in our independence, so we are always reminding ourselves that we were born, if in brackets, we were born in Tanzania.
He urges young people to strengthen bilateral relations between Tanzania and Mozambique.
The young people is a milestone for the future of each country, so that if we do what we are doing up to now, until now, teaching people, young people, what was the history of liberation of Tanzania from the British regime, and what is the history of Mozambique, liberation of Mozambique, or independence of Mozambique from the Portuguese colonialism, and knowing to have in mind that it was Mozambique as an independent country was born from the struggle for liberation, but from here, Tanzania. So we will make a very high history for both young people from Mozambique, young people of Mozambique, and young people in Tanzania.
As part of celebrations to mark Independence Day of Mozambique later this month, the Embassy of Mozambique in Tanzania will visit Kinondoni graves in Dar es Salaam to remember leaders from Mozambique who died during the independence struggles. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Peter Mganga, TBC News.
The Global Media Forum is taking place in Bonn, Germany, whereby leaders, innovators, and policymakers from all around the world are meeting to discuss pressing issues and emerging trends in the media landscape. Esther Dels reports from Germany.
The 2024 edition of Global Media Forum, aligned with the theme Sharing Solution, addresses a number of key challenges that are commonly shared in the media landscape, such as media freedom and independence, sustainability in the media, diversity and inclusion, also examining the impact of new technology as artificial intelligence on media production and consumption. The conference involved a number of engaging activities that brought participants in smaller groups to share the solutions, and the participants there share their insights on the 2024 GMF.
The takeaway for me here is hearing the stories of finding solution and sharing solutions across the globe. What else we can do to sustain the media, and it's reassuring to hear that our stories are similar, that collaboration matters.
Today in the world where information and the fake news are battling, and we are the professionals of the news, and we cannot only look at that like spectators. So we have to act so that people can get the real information that can be helpful for the development, for the peace, and for the security of the communities.
I think it's really important for us to be working together with each other. Media is the fourth pillar of democracy, and civil society is the fifth pillar of democracy. If we don't work together and understand each other's issues, and media doesn't amplify what's happening, we will lose a lot of ground.
I think it's very important to have this open discussion about democracy, to push it forward, and to become more general push for the democracy in these difficult times.
Participants from 120 countries gathered in this building behind me here in Bonn, Germany, and had insightful discussion concerning challenges they face in the media industry. But the question still remains, is the artificial intelligence a solution to these challenges, or is it a threat to the media credibility? It's me, Esther Daus, TBC, Germany.
Some development stakeholders have called on society to observe justice and equality, especially for people with albinism, in order to have a peaceful and productive society. Peter Mganga has more.
According to the United Nations, it is estimated that in North America and Europe, 1 in every 17,000 to 20,000 people have some form of albinism. The condition is much more prevalent in sub-Saharan Africa, with estimates of 1 in 1,400 people being affected in Tanzania, and prevalence as high as 1 in 1,000 reported for select populations in Zimbabwe and for other specific ethnic groups in Southern Africa. Speaking exclusively to TBC News, Cultural Affairs Officer in U.S. Embassy in Tanzania, Chad Morris, emphasizes on creation of policies so as to create conducive environment for people with albinism.
Albinism is a phenomenon. It's not a problem. In Tanzania, the rate of albinism is higher than, say, in the United States. In the United States, it's about 1 in 50,000 people who's born with this condition, whereas in Tanzania, it's about 1 in 1,400 people. So if there's a higher rate in Tanzania, it just means that people need to be more aware and to understand that it is simply something that occurs, and that there's no stigma attached to it, there's no issue attached to it, and that in some cases, many people with this condition have special needs that need to be recognized and addressed.
On the other hand, people who are living with albinism urge the government to create an enabling environment that will bring equality and justice to them.
We just want the government and stakeholders to incorporate those matters written to policies and laws and those international conventions to be into action. I think in not 10 years, we can just put them in 5 years. If we really remove the political biasness and all those, we can be in a better position concerning, because they cover a lot of things, but practically they are not into implementation. So I think for those, my side and the public behind me, we will be very grateful for that.
We still have something to do, and it needs a collaborative approach, a holistic approach in ensuring that we realize the rights of people with albinism. And our ultimate goal is to see that people with albinism are occupying their rightful position in every level in their society.
Despite of all challenges which has been faced by people who are living with albinism here in Tanzania, still the government are doing the better job so that to create conducive environment, including enforcement of laws and creation of police, so that to create conducive environment of albinism. Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Peter Mganga, TBC News.
Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news compiled by Ramadan Mpenda and read to you by Faith Ngaga.
The ruling Kenya Kwanza Alliance on Tuesday has confirmed that a majority of the contentious issues in the Finance Bill 2024 have been withdrawn. Addressing the nation shortly before the bill is tabled in the National Assembly in the afternoon, the Kenya Kwanza Parliamentary Group, chaired by President William Ruto, disclosed that they had listened to concerns raised by Kenyans on the new tax proposals. Among other changes, the ruling party announced that 16% value-added taxes, VAT, on bread has been removed, and the VAT on the transportation of sugar has also been removed. At the same time, the party confirmed that VAT on financial services and foreign exchange transactions has also been removed. The tax changes contained in the government's funding bill for the 2024-2025 fiscal year are the latest effort by President William Ruto's administration to boost revenue. The Kenya National Assembly Finance Committee chairperson Korea Kimani further disclosed that there will be no increase on mobile money transfers. He says the contentious issues of 2.5% motor vehicle tax that had been proposed has also been removed, as well as the excise duty on vegetable oil. The announcement by MPs came as police fired tear gas and used water cannon to try to disperse angry protesters in the capital, Nairobi. Several protesters have since been arrested for taking part in the demonstration, which police have since declared illegal. Rwandans will choose between 3 presidential candidates and over 500 aspiring members of parliament during the July 15th elections. The Rwanda National Electoral Commission revealed the names of candidates in the presidential and parliamentary polls. President Paul Kagame from the Rwanda Patriotic Front, RPF, will face Frank Habineza of the opposition Democratic Green Party of Rwanda and Philippe Mpayimana, who runs as an independent. Kagame won previous elections in 2003, 2010, and 2017 with more than 90% of the vote. Habineza ran during the last presidential poll and gathered less than 2% of votes. Paul Kagame, Rwanda's president for 23 years, has been at the head of the Rwandan Patriotic Front since 1998. In total, 9 candidates submitted their candidacy to the National Electoral Commission. Heads of state and government have begun to arrive in Pretoria in South Africa for President-elect Cyril Ramaphosa inauguration on Wednesday. The event that will formalize Ramaphosa's presidency will take place at the Union Buildings, Pretoria. Cyril Ramaphosa from the African National Congress was elected by the South African Parliament on the 14th of June 2024. The ceremony will be witnessed by South Africans and international guests, including South African royalty, Member of Parliament, representatives from political parties, leaders of organized labor, and religious leaders. The swearing-in of South Africa's President-elect Cyril Ramaphosa will be conducted by the South African Chief Justice Raymond Zondo at the Union Building in Pretoria.
That was international news. Sports news up next.
We are going to have a committee and general meeting for all members to give them information of the election exercise, procedures of who can contest for the posts, and date of collecting election forms. We call them to come and take the election forms to contest for different posts, such as chairman, vice chairman, general secretary, and 10 members of the association committee, because they are responsible for everyday activities.
Simba Sports Club has announced to leave out 2 more players, including one of its top scorers, Burundi international Saido Ntibazonkiza, after serving the Msimbazi Street Boys for 2 years. Ntibazonkiza is the second top player to be given a farewell by the club after announcing yesterday that the club will not renew the contract of its club captain, John Boko, for the season 2024-2025. Bazonkiza has scored 28 goals for Simba Sports Club for 2 seasons and contributed to the club's good participation in the CAF Championship League to reach out quarterfinals in season 2023-2024. Simba is working to reinforce the squad after the club finished third in the last season and without winning any trophy. The chairman of the Former Football Players Association of Tanzania, UMSOTA, Paul Lusozi, urges the members of the association to come out in large numbers to contest for various positions in order to bring fresh ideas for development of the association. Chairman Lusozi says that the former players are facing many health and economic challenges, so members who want to run for those positions should come up with strategies to solve the challenges of the members.
We are going to have a committee and general meeting for all members to give them information of the election exercise, procedures of who can contest for the posts, and date of collecting election forms. We call them to come and take the election forms to contest for different posts such as chairman, vice chairman, general secretary, and 10 members of the association committee, because they are responsible for everyday activities.
The election of the UMSOTA Ex-Players Association will be held in October this year, and the positions to be contested include the chairman and the vice chairman and 10 executive committee members. The coach of Tigana Lukinja Academy, Miraji Fundi, urges parents and guardians to enroll their kids to various sports training centers during this holiday season so that they can develop their talents. Coach Fundi insists that kids with the talents should use this holiday time to nurture the skills and knowledge of the games that they love, and urging parents to support them as one way of creating employment in the future.
Most of the boys have been born with football talent, and we believe that as they stay with us, they will reach far. What we need is support from parents, and as the coach, we will develop their talents for the benefit of national teams.
My dream is to play at the national team. To go in Europe is okay, but it's very hard. So you must fight any time in order to go Europe.
Tanzania has many young people with various sports talents. If developed, will help reduce the employment problems in the country. And that is sports news. And now, before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let us take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello, this is 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Starting from tonight, 9 p.m. Wind is expected to flow at the speed of 20 kilometers per hour over Lake Victoria. For Lake Tanganyika and Lake Nyasa, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 30 kilometers per hour. And the state of the lake is expected to be slight to moderate. For the entire coast, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 30 kilometers per hour. And the state of the sea is expected to be moderate. And now let us see of the weather details. And this is what we expect for tonight. For Tanga, Dar es Salaam, together with Pemba and Unguja ISOs, we expect partly cloud condition and light rain showers over a few areas. And the rest part of the country is expected to be dry. And cool to colder temperatures are expected over most parts of the country, especially over southwestern highland, of which the lowest minimum temperature is expected to reach 6 degrees of centigrade over Mbeya and Njombe region. And now let us see of what we expect for tomorrow. For northern coast, we expect cloud condition, rain showers over a few areas, and sun intervals. And for southern coast, we expect partly cloud condition, light rain showers over a few areas, and sun periods. And the remaining parts of the country, we expect partly cloud condition and sun periods. And now let us take a look of the next 4 days weather forecast. And that's all for today. Make sure to catch up again tomorrow. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, my name is Mariam Fares. Bye-bye.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Teddy Mparinyanga. Have a lovely, lovely night.